Pennsylvania. And Tim, is that you? Last night we were in Pennsylvania, and we did this, and we really had so much fun. And
Something back in the coat. Like a booger. I saw Tim wipe it on him and he's eating it.
oh, Brian, like a little monkey, you've been picking things. What is really funny about all of this is we always were very careful. The years we traveled together, we were always very careful that we only acted like this on the bus.
And now we're so old we don't care.
We're so old we don't care. And, so that is a lot of fun. We've got something right there too.
You got something right above it.
Oh.
Another booger on it.
You're in areas you shouldn't be. But we started last night. We started singing and just having so much fun singing. And I don't even know how we went into all this storytelling stuff. And we started telling stories last night about some of the things that went on the bus.
Some of them we ought not have told.
We made sure we removed all video cameras last night. And, there were just some funny things. One thing that I remember, and I'm gonna pay you back for this. Yeah, you. It's an Amy. That's what you used to call it. He can absolutely make you so mad and then go, what? So, just like he's doing now. Some things never change. And he'll be in a rest home going.
I say Mr. Lefebvre eats Jello and he'll go, what?
Well, y'all know I'm from North Carolina and I'm proud. So I'm proud. I am a proud Carolina fan. And chill out. When you move out of state, you love everything from North Carolina. So I even like the Wolfpack.
Where's all this going?
I don't know, but they're messing me up. So they were showing this Carolina blue sweatshirt that I really wanted bad. And I asked for this Carolina blue sweatshirt for Christmas, and I got it. I was so proud. Every state that we went into, hey, y'all stop talking among yourselves.
I've listened to every word you say.
Okay. Me too.
Me too.
So I got the Carolina blue sweatshirt, and I wanted to wear it every day. Whatever state we were in, I wanted to represent North Carolina. Well, the very first day, I think we were up in Charleston, West Virginia, coming out of Christmas. And so I had my shower, I was looking good, decked out in this Carolina blue sweatshirt. Man, I looked good. Well, I was sitting there at the table, and I was drinking, what was it?
RC.
I was drinking an RC.
He loved RCs.
And I loved RCs.
But nobody else liked them.
Because nobody else liked them. That's why I drank RCs. And so, anyway, so Mike, I had walked away from the table on the bus. Mike, in the meantime, got a spray pen. He picked up my Coke, and right there at the spout part, he put little pinholes. You know where this is going, don't you? So when I came back in and sat down and drank the Coke, it was like a shower head. Down the front of my Carolina sweatshirt. I was mad.
Wait a minute. For the record, it was a paneling nail. It wasn't a straight nail.
Well, I feel better. I feel better. Thank you very much. Hey,
He owes you.
huh?
He owes you, Caroline.
Yeah, you owe me a sweatshirt, boss. Hey, we were talking today, and we love to just reminisce when we get together. And if you don't stop biting and licking me, I'll So, all right, don't you start. Okay, since Gary Jones is not here, he was our piano player and arranger for all of those years. And last night in Pennsylvania, Gary was actually able to be with us last night. And so we decided, Brian and I, we decided together, we put our heads together, and we figured out we're going to play a trick on Gary. And of course, Instigator here. How many know what a pig picking is? We were in Kinston, North Carolina. Some of y'all remember Heaven Bound, the trio Heaven Bound that sang out of Kinston. We were doing their homecoming one year. You don't have to clap, they're not here. So anyway, so we were doing their homecoming. Well, one of their things they loved to do was have a pig picking at their homecoming. And so what they did, they dug the hole and they put the whole pig in the hole, head and everything. And then after it's cooked, they dig the pig up, lay him on the table. And us North Carolina folks would just go by and butcher that pig. But they left the head on it. And so I came to Brian and I said, Brian, I said, you're not going to believe what's in the kitchen. He said, what? And I said, that pig's laying there on that table. And I told the guy, the cook, I said, when everybody's done, I want the head.
And I'm the instigator?
Well, I mean, I kind of set things up, maybe, a little bit. So I told the guy, I said, can I have the head to this pig? And he said, yeah. Well, after the concert, I had to think about it. And I was telling Brian about all this, so he's as much involved as I am. And so then, after the concert, I went in the kitchen and I said, do you have what I asked you for? He said, got it right here. He reached under the table and he pulled out a big bag, paper sack. He said, it's in there. And I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. So I took it to the bus. Well, Brian's already on the bus. And he said, what we're going to do with it? And I said, put it on Gary's bed. So, I said, I'll watch out for Gary if you'll go put it on his bed. And I handed it, okay. He took it. I handed it to him.
Because it was funny.
It was funny.
Because you didn't tell him, Gary's real squeamish. I mean, he just, stuff like that, it'll make him freak out. I mean, he was easy to panic. You can just poke him, that kind of stuff. So,
How did he do?
No, I'm not doing it again. I did it once. He goes, So I took it back there and put it on this bunk. And what I did was I laid it, pulled it out of the bag. It was on a little trash bag. Laid the bag down so it wouldn't mess his bed up. I laid the head on there facing him, and the head still had the apple in the mouth. And I laid it facing him so that we opened the curtains to his bunk. That pig would be staring him in the face. Yeah, and you finish your story. Tell him what happened.
Well, so we pulled out, we were headed down the road, we were going back home. And so we were just sitting there just looking at each other, and we were like, okay, it's gonna happen any second. It's gonna happen. Well, Gary gets up and we're like, and so Gary goes back into the bunk section of the bus. And Brian, he's just so excited.
It was funny.
He's in the front lounge running around on the couch. And then when Gary pulled that bag open, he was standing under the table.
What? He'd stand up at the table.
Did then. And so we were sitting there in the front lounge, and about that time we heard the god-awful scream. Man, I'm bleeding off of that one. And so we're sitting there in the front lounge and we heard the god-awful screaming. And so the next thing we know, here comes Gary back into the front lounge. And Brian is so innocently standing under the table.
I can't stand over the table.
And so, as Gary come back in there, he did not even look at us. He looked at Brian.
And it wasn't even my idea.
All we saw was the backside of Brian running to the back lounge of the bus. And Gary right in behind me. He beat you black wounded. That'll teach you to instigate stuff.